Alright, everybody, welcome to Strength Hammer episode 99 with the one, the only, the biggest, strongest Warhammer person in the world, me. You thought I was setting you up, huh?
I was like, biggest and strongest.
Nah,
Average.
that's our friend, World's Strongest Warhammerer. He's got that
Yeah, he
title.
is. Immediately goes to him.
Mm-hmm.
Though, biggest might go to Ben Mudge. Or Josh.
I think
They're both.
I think I've seen pictures together. I think Josh is a slightly bigger dude, maybe.
Maybe. Maybe.
Just
Yeah. It's
yeah.
all about the lighting, though. It could be like that one of them is just better with lighting than the other.
No, I'm pretty sure height is not about lighting.
I wouldn't know. I'm 5'10".
I know. I'm a short king, so.
Short kings are still kings, bro.
Yep, 5'9". It's easier to put the crown on. It's
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
um, if you are watching this, you probably see, hopefully, slightly better quality. New PC is up and running. I have to tweak the video settings because I got a slight stutter, but seems to be recording just fine, at least the audio, which is the most important part of this.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
but before we dive into today's topic of fitness, how's your lawn?
My lawn is actually in need of cutting, and I was planning to cut it today, but as you know,
It's
we
raining.
had a little bit of rain. Yeah, so it might have to wait until tomorrow.
Yeah, my lawn's okay. I cut it over the weekend, pushed it back a little
Mm.
bit, so I'm still doing okay. Excited that my garden is starting to come up now, so that's the biggest win right now. Garden veggies are coming in, and friend Brandon, uh, he gave me some more vegetables, so I'm gonna have lots of tomatoes. Alex, I hope you like tomatoes.
I love tomatoes, especially with eggs and ham. Man, very good stuff. So can't wait.
That's good. That's good. All right, Alex, you said you had a topic for us today.
I do have a topic, and that topic actually came from our most recent workout together,
Ooh, okay.
where you just kind of led the workout, and I just kind of followed you, and it was very interesting because I've actually started to incorporate it in my programming lately because of how busy life is. You kind of
Mm-hmm.
challenged me on it, and like, well, maybe there is a way to make it work. So what we did, we went to the gym, and you just said, hey, let's just do 5 movements,
Yep.
right? And we started with legs, did some upper body, did some accessory work. I didn't really think about it much. I just kind of did whatever you wanted to do, and we did it. But ever since that, I'm like, well, life has been busy. I don't really have a whole lot of time to worry about working out. I might have an hour and 10 minutes here and there. So I've started doing that. And I've started just like I'm doing 5 movements today. And if I only have, so much time, I'll find a way to make it efficient, right? But regardless,
Right.
5 movements.
Yep.
So our topic for today is if you only have 5 movements to structure a workout, how would you do it? Not necessarily specific movements, but how would you structure your workouts?
Actually, it's very interesting because I've been looking to kind of like mix things up a little bit too. Because I had it from the topic of this workout was I'm doing 5 movements for legs today, or lower body and upper
Mm,
body. Like that's how I've been essentially like piecing it out to make it simple. But I wanted to mix it up, and literally the moment I thought about that, Ben Mudge put up a post, his simple full body session. I was like,
right.
that's perfect because I've only get to the gym actually going to the gym about 2 times a week the past
Hmm.
couple weeks, and then like obviously like a nice little steady state cardio session, further out the rest of the week. And his was a 6 movement, but I really
Okay.
like it. So I'll try and find a link to the Instagram post and put
Sure.
it below. But just let me run through that as just a kind of like a guideline because
Yeah. Yeah.
um, leg press, stiff leg deadlift, lat pull down, machine chest press, seated cable rows, and machine shoulder press.
Yeah.
It's
That's
hitting
wonderful.
it's hitting posterior, anterior, all across the whole body. Although Ben, there's a
Absolutely.
lack of neck exercises here, so that's the only thing.
Like a forearm
Yeah,
exercises. Yeah. Not a lot of grip exercises or adductors. Nah, just
yeah,
stupid.
but to be fair, it was a really nice workout.
Simple. Yeah.
What was really interesting is on the straight leg or stiff leg deadlifts, um, like the most minor of injuries. Alex, have you ever had a one of your floating ribs shift?
No.
Um, it wasn't like pushed out of place. It like went out of place, went right back in. Because like I braced really hard and I was going at it, and like I must have braced somehow improperly. I wasn't using a belt. I was
Oh.
doing very lightweight.
Right. 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 Right.
There's like that pop. I'm like, okay. Thankfully, it was on the last set. Like the last, I was doing 3 to 5. I hit 3. I was like, okay. It's just been sore ever since. It's just a
Yeah,
weird thing. Like
it's all right. It's okay.
yeah,
It's all right. I'm not old, so I can't relate, but it's okay.
it's
You'll be
okay.
all right.
It's all right. I mean, listen, I'm experienced and understand how to deal with injuries. You're afraid of injuries still. That's the problem.
You embrace injuries, right?
You gotta embrace the grind set. But no, besides that, it
Uh,
was a really great working session. So yeah, no, um, we kind of have Ben's idea in mind. Alex, what does
yeah.
yours look like? And I'm assuming we're gonna take a full body approach to this.
I think full body. I think this is very easily can be expanded into push pull, upper lower, right? You could do all kind of things with it. But I think for most people, like you said, if you only have 2 days to work out, full body is probably the best option,
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
And Ben is definitely onto something. Obviously, he is a very good trainer and friend of ours,
Mm-hmm.
and he's all about the least amount of work for the most benefit, right?
Right.
So that's why full body typically works very well. Um, if it was me, I would I would start with lower body, kind of like Ben did, because those are more challenging movements, more fatiguing. You have more energy when you start
Yep.
the workout versus at the end. So definitely lower body first. What I would do is a lower body push movement first, right? So you could do squats, leg press, lunges, Bulgarian split squats. If you're having a rough day, don't have a whole lot of energy, do some quad extensions,
Yep.
right? And then I would do a lower body pull movement. So for Ben, it was stiff leg deadlifts. You could do regular deadlifts if you have
Mm-hmm.
the energy. You could do hamstring curls, right? You could do Nordic curls. You could do laying hamstring curls.
Would you throw good mornings into that? I don't know if
Good
that
mornings,
it would hit the
absolutely.
hamstrings, but yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean that's a pull movement, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Lower
But
body pull movement.
yeah, I'm
So
trying to think. It's like it's a little different. Deadlift and good mornings are so different. Like in how I feel
very
at every
different.
gym.
Yeah, yeah. But this is not about being optimal. This is about like, hey, let's do like a
Hit the
lower body
muscle groups.
push,
That's true. That's true.
lower body pull. And if you have a lot of energy, do a deadlift. If you have less energy, do hamstring curls, right?
Right.
Then I would do the same exact thing, but for the upper body. Do an upper body push movement.
Yep.
So that could be ideally something that targets both shoulders and chest, if you can. So like incline dumbbell press or incline barbell press, or low to high chest flies, right? If you can, if you don't want to worry about it, just do some kind of push movement. So
Yeah.
do bench press, do shoulder press, right? And because if we're limiting it to 5 movements, it's hard. Ideally, do both shoulder and chest. If you can't, just do a push movement. And then do an upper body pull movement. So you could do rows, you could do lat pull downs, you could do pull ups, you could do um, incline bench dumbbell rows, right? A row machine, cable rows, a lot of different options. So that's lower body push pull, upper body push pull. So that's 4 movements so far. And then last thing I would do is just some kind of accessory work. You want to enjoy your workout. You want to do something that you actually enjoy doing. So throw in some isolation bicep work, isolation tricep work,
Cardio,
some core work,
even. Yeah.
cardio, sometime on the treadmill, calves, core, right? Something that you feel like you want to work on specifically.
Mm-hmm.
For me, lately, it's been the bicep because I have a pretty full tricep head, but my bicep is actually significantly smaller. So I've been working on biceps recently.
Nice.
That's how I would structure it. It's simple, effective. You kind of have to have some exercise lingo and understand what lower body push pull, upper body push pull movements are. But if you have that, that could be a very simple structure.
Yeah. No, that works. It's actually interesting because like I'm thinking about how I would do this because like my thing I'd like to throw in is what I really love would be deadlifts, which is hitting one of the body groups, but like doing heavy deadlifts and then maybe doing a lighter, like for a posterior pre that. But like I don't know, I just feel like I get a lot more out of my um, body. Like I feel like I'm doing more when I'm doing a deadlift. It's not just I don't know, I can't explain it. It just feels like I'm doing a lot more than just that movement.
You mean
Um,
like more than just hamstrings and partially glutes,
yeah,
right?
yeah. It's like, but I get
Yeah.
that's not for everybody. It's more just a me thing. Because like I feel the lats. I feel the weight of the.
Oh yeah.
It's. But like to me, like that's a good way to cap it off, and because you're warmed up, then you're primed. This type of workout isn't going to burn your CNS, but also this is me. This maybe isn't for everybody to like. Okay, let's do 4 simple workouts, and then let's ruin our day by lifting deadlifts. Like no, that's it's my brain doing these things. But no, I like it. Like 5 movements is good. I do like Ben's 6 movement because then you get a
I do.
nice even split of 1 2 1 2 1 2.
Right.
Um, but I like the way you structured it too. That if you only have time for 5 movements, that's 45 minutes.
It's going to be. I mean, honestly, it takes me an hour because I take long rests,
Yeah,
right? So it depends how long your recovery is. Like for you, with your very quick recovery, 45 minutes.
yeah,
Uh, For me, it takes a full hour, sometimes even a little longer.
I've had days where I'm in a hurry, and I've gone in and I've done the whole workout in 30 minutes. It's like
That's
very little
wild.
rest.
That's
Um,
wild.
it's fine. I mean, you're sweating by the end,
Yeah,
um,
I'm sure.
but yeah, no, I like that because that way you get you with yours 1 2 1 2, and then something fun, something different, some accessory.
Right.
It can even just
Accessory
be
work.
some stretching. It could
If
be
you want to, yeah.
whatever your goals are. So I've
Hmm.
been stretching my back because I realized I haven't done much today other than stand and sit at computers.
Relatable.
Okay, so would you suggest while we're doing like maybe like this sort of work, whether you're experienced or inexperienced, would you say maybe you should lean more towards doing machines over free weights for this? If you're like limited on time, you're thinking about that, just easier loading.
I would say so. I would say so. In general, less cleanup. It depends on it depends on why you're doing this, right? Are you doing this because you're short on time?
Mm-hmm.
um, then yeah, machines are going to be much better for you. Machines and
Sure.
maybe dumbbells, right? Um, if you are just mentally tired, but time wise you have a lot of time, then I don't have any problem with you doing barbell work or loading work
Right.
because it's not any more mentally draining. But and time wise you have a lot of time. If you're both mentally and drained and time wise you're drained, then maybe machines are the way to go.
For sure, and like, it depends on your setup too. Like if you were only going to Planet Fitness, LA Fitness, you're only going to have the machines. That's just how it is. But
For the most part, yeah.
yeah, and then if you're doing that and you have a little bit more time and you want a harder day, then you can pull out the barbell movements, get the
Hmm.
compound lifts, I suppose.
Yeah. The cool thing about this structure too is like because there's really no programming with it, you could go anywhere from 2 to even 5 days a week doing this, right?
Yeah,
Because if you're doing 3 sets for every movement and you go, 5 days a week, that's still only 15 sets, and that's not too much per muscle group, right?
yeah. And the other thing too, like if you're more experienced, like we are, like I looked at Ben's thing and I saw that. I was like, okay, actually, I don't want to do leg press. I want to do pendulum squat. Okay, the chest press. We have that new chest press machine in our gym. Like I'm going to do that instead, even though it hits a little bit more shoulders. It's like okay, well
Yeah,
then,
absolutely. Why
like
not?
like once you understand different movements and how to supplement them, it's really easy that you can keep your workout very, very, very varied. Sorry, that's a weird way to say it. Incredibly varied, because you can just how to hit your posterior, you know how to hit your anterior upper. Once you learn how to do that with all the movements, you just walk in and be like, okay, I know I need to hit these groups, and then my fun thing. So you're like, okay, I'll do these today, and then the next time you do, and like it's hitting like because like may say you do this even as a 3 day a week program, or like you said, a 4 or 5
Oh,
day.
absolutely.
Like
Yeah,
okay, well
a lot of flexibility.
your chest movement today on Monday could be upper chest, then mid chest, then lower chest. Like you can just mix it up even to that extent. The more experience you get with it, or you can simply do it as a very basic thing of just like I've hit my chest. I don't care what kind. It's all about your goals. And if you care about specific goals, then you learn how to hit the different aspects of the muscle. If you just want to be healthy and go to the gym and move, this is perfectly fine, and it's a
This
great
is
way to
the
do it.
perfect program for it. Yeah, and I think you touched on something I wanted to cover very briefly is like the benefit of this type of programming, this type of structure is convenience, right?
Yes.
You don't have to follow a program. If you're busy, burned out, just show up at the gym and like you don't have a plan. Show up at the gym and your only plan is you're going to do 5 movements and you kind of can figure it out on the go. The problem with this is you do it long enough, you're going to go to the same 5 movements over and over and over and over,
Right. Yeah.
right? Because I'm not saying it because like oh you suck, but I'm saying it because I do that, right? I'm at the gym and like I can't remember the last time I did a rear delt movement.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't I don't I don't like doing rear delts. I just don't, right? And the
It,
way program is structured, you're not going to do the things you don't really enjoy for the most part.
right. Yeah. And just touch upon it briefly here as we wrap up because a little bit of a tighter schedule for me today. Not Alex's fault on this one. But if you are doing this as kind of how I've been doing it with like just focusing on 5 movements, so Monday is my chest day.
Sure.
So I make sure I
Yeah,
hit
you could do that.
upper, mid, and lower chest, and then I do some tricep, and oftentimes I'll do my cable machine rows there, and then obviously you go in Wednesday I'll do the legs, so I'll do I'll do deadlifts, I'll do I'll keep posterior, and then maybe some front squats, something light at the end, calves, some deadlifts, I'll probably honestly mixing some lat pull down. So like just hit those 5 movements and focus on an area and then have one nut focus on the area is usually how I've done it. And then the last day is
Yeah.
kind of like hit whatever's left. Like I gotta do my quads, I gotta do my glutes, maybe a little core, grip. Just But like you said, you kind of get to the same rhythm with it. But you can do this, and to be fair, if you're doing it that way, just doing 5 movements 3 days a week, guess what? We're back to the bro split. That's all I've been doing. It's. I hope everybody is they've like we've only done these for 10 episodes now or something, but I hope people are starting to get the idea of this really isn't that hard. Like all this information.
Just show up.
Yeah.
Just show up.
So much information's out there. That's how Alex and I learned a lot of stuff. Granted, nutrition, Alex is trained. He paid good money to be taught that appropriately, but like just how to go to the gym, like stuff like us. There's people like us talking about it online, even more so without any Warhammer stuff in the background. But
Absolutely. Yeah, just learn it. I mean, give shout out to, let's say, 2 channels you would recommend, Chuck.
Juju Mufu and Zat Strength, and I'll put them links
Very good.
below.
Good. Yeah, I would recommend Mind Pump and it's a tough one. I think Mind Pump and Jeff Nippert I'd recommend.
Okay.
There's a lot more than that, but those are the ones I'd recommend right now on top of my head.
Those will be linked below as usual.
All right.
Quick note, I'm going to try and do timestamps now for everybody.
Ooh.
So hopefully at least separate out Alex's portion from my portions in case you ever need to go back and listen to one over the other. Or Alex's portion from Neil's portion, I should say, not my portion. This is all my portion.
You can say the handsome portion and the normal portion.
Yeah, I'm sure
Yeah.
Neil will take that compliment. Alex, before we do head off, I didn't see anything. Just want to check. Did you have any hobby this week, or have you been booked?
No, thinking about hobby has been my hobby this week.
That's fair. Sometimes that's what you get.
Yeah, that's what I get.
But don't worry. When we get over to me and Neil, I'm sure Neil has some hobby. I definitely have some hobby. So there'll be some hobby talk and some more lawn talk so we can see how Neil's lawn's doing.
Excellent. Looking forward to that.
Yes, and don't forget, next episode will be episode 100. Trying to figure out what to do with it. I may take an extra week break between 99 and 100 to figure out something bigger, or if I just want to do like a more of a typical show and just like maybe we just talk about something else, then probably do 100. But after episode 100, there's probably gonna be like a 2-week break, just to kind of like take a break. We hit 100 episodes.
Yeah.
We get a little break.
Yeah, but you deserve it.
Yeah, but yes. All right, let's throw it over to Neil. Alex, we'll see you on episode 100.
See you then.
Hello, everybody, and hope you enjoyed that segment with me and Alex talking about fitness and how to do like a quick workout, 5 movements, all you need. You may be noticing right now that Neil's not with us. He's been no, he has not been fired. He is, to be honest, he's not feeling it tonight. But I want to get this episode out. And actually kind of plays into the topic of the night, which after talking with him, this was going to be more fun to talk to him with this, but you have me in a solo show for it. But before we get into the topic, as usual, we have to get to Neil's lawn update. And I did ask him this. It's like, you need to give me a lawn update if you're not going to come on the show tonight. Everyone needs to know what your lawn's like. He says it's overgrown and he should have cut it. And he did not. So, running theme for this week on all the lawn updates is we all should have cut our grass sooner rather than later. But hey, I digress. Anyway, we should get into hobby too. I did ask Neil. He didn't have any hobby this week. He has had a busy week, so no worries there. I have some hobby to show you all. By the way, I hope the audio is a little bit better. From recording with Alex earlier today, I realized my audio was kind of low, so I turned it back up. It's too high. I'll work on the balance as I can, but this new PC seems to be doing a good job. And I did get the video sorted, as you can kind of tell. No more stuttering. Looks nice and smooth. But anyway, let's do some hobby real quick. And I'm going to try and do this live. It's a little bit wonky since it's a little bit of a new setup here. So boom, first up, my Napoleonics are done. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? My Napoleonic army is finally complete. There we go. So we got the artillery over there, 2 units of cavalry, 4 units of infantry, as well as commanders down there, including Marshal Ney himself. Absolutely did not enjoy painting this army. I use contrast. I use cheats. It's definitely a 6 foot view army. I could go back in, add more details later, and you never know, I might. But something about this army was just not driving with me. It's like not. I still like Napoleonics. I can't wait to try the game, but I don't know. Just these older models just weren't doing it for me. My heart wasn't in it, but I pushed through. I persevered because I wanted to get it done, and we're gonna be starting to play this game sometime here in June. So it was without a doubt I needed to get this done. So yeah, happy it's done. Happy to be free of it. It's all packed up in its case. Yeah, I'm not unhappy with it. It looks fine. But hey, you know what? It is what it is. But let me show you a few things I am proud of here and was excited to paint. Whoop, see, it's a new setup. It's gonna be a little wonky here. Whoop, too much. There we go. There we go. The Inner Circle Companions for the Dark Angels. Okay, slim this down a little bit more. Nope, that's not gonna work. So yeah, I picked these up on a whim, just because I wanted to. Had an order from Games Workshop going out, and there we go. What a little fun little side project. And I'm a Dark Angel player, and these just look super cool. Try to definitely attack that black-green look with these as well. And I think it came out mostly okay. It's a little dark, and actually even now I'm seeing I gotta go back on this guy right here. Don't look at that gold on his hand that I just missed completely. Oh well, I'll touch it up after I'm done recording this podcast here. But still, love these sculpts. They were great. Really enjoyed it. It was a nice little palette refresh. Something fun to get done quick. So very, very pleased with that. And then something I finished literally right before this podcast began. It's this fresh. Yeah, don't say that. That's right. Grombadil, the White Dwarf himself. Look at him in all his majesty. Can we a little too much, okay, I guess this is the size we're going with for this one. Yeah, fun little pickup for the 500 White Dwarf. Painted him to match my Fire Slayers and my Caradron Overlords, since they're kind of a unified army as far as the color scheme goes. So he fits in right there next to Gotrex, sitting in the Fire Slayers case. But fun little project. A little tough on the close-up here with this, but yeah, super thrilled with it. Fun little paint. And now, as we close this out, now all that's left for painting on my hobby desk is my Tale of Four Warlords commitment for this month, which is 24 peasant archers. Sorry, peasant bowmen. Got them all. Actually, hold on. They're all built, and I did prime them, give them a little zenithal, and then I got the blue going on them, the basic blue. So, getting a good start on them. Should be a fun little paint. I'm enjoying this color scheme a lot. And yeah, should be nice and quick. And since it's not a hero, it should be even quicker. Like I don't have to do too much, on the highlighting extra details. Just get some of the basics on there, make it look good. But yeah, with that hobby out of the way, man, hobby goes quick whenever you're alone too. Like as far as talking about it. But yeah, topic of the night. So kind of plays into, like I said, Neil not feeling it, because if I'm honest, I'm not super excited for Warhammer ongoings right now. I don't hate it. It's not like I'm upset about it, but there's really not much going on within the scope of things that I'm super passionate about. Playing it still almost weekly. Usually Old World, sometimes 40k, sometimes Sigmar. Clearly I'm continuing the hobby. It's just a fun thing to do, but I keep looking at the articles they keep releasing for the 4th edition Age of Sigmar, and not that I'm not excited for a new edition, but I don't put a lot of stock into those articles. One, if there's a Dodge Kane one, I'll care a little bit more because that's my army, but even then, all I see of these articles is people taking the hot takes. This army's ruined, it's broken, or one way or the other, broken one way or the other, and it's so we don't have the whole picture. It's that sort of thing. It's like I'm not one to sit here and really give a lot of hot takes, because I don't know the whole picture. I won't know the whole picture till I start playing games. Heck, I won't know the whole picture until Vince on Warhammer Weekly tells me what my opinion should be, because I rely on that man. He's telling me what I think. I'm kidding. Love you, Vince. But, I'm not excited for these articles day by day. I glance through them, I retweet them, get it out there, make sure people see it. That's cool, but I'm not, oh man, look what the Gargans can do. Look what Nurgle can do. All the Osiark Bone Reapers are the next one up for tomorrow. Just not super excited with it. So what do you do? I don't have anything I need to really paint right away. Sure, I could paint out my whole Bretonnian army very quickly, but I want to keep that for the Tale Forward specifically, so I'm not rushing through it. So what do you do? Like playing games, chatting with friends, and like I said, sometimes, in the great words of Marcus Aurelius, the obstacle is the way. So that's probably why I've been hobbying. That's why I finished that Napoleonics army. Because I didn't want to, in a weird way. It was in my way, but I feel much more satisfaction having gotten through it, even to the level that I did. Even tonight, I'm not the best at recording solo podcasts here. You guys can probably tell. I have lots of ums and buts and pauses and sipping my water. But I feel like I want to do this, even if I'm not passionate about it to this fullest extent, because it's still something I enjoy to do. And I still get to practice this craft and learn more and try to become better at putting out content for you all. I wish I could say that, I'm just one article away or one release away from excitement back to the fullest. But, that might be a while. Like, 4th edition may drop, and that could be a flash in the pan that, starts the fire, or it could just continue on and, passion might not be as full as it's potentially could be, which is fine. That's the thing too. I did, and I'll call Neil out on this. I kept trying to light his fire. Like, come on, let's talk. And I was going to have this conversation with him. I've been curious to see his thoughts on it, but he kept giving me non-concrete answers, which is fine. He's trying to be nice, not hurt my feelings, but it's like, that means I'm going to keep trying to light the fire. And it's like, well, if it's no, it's no, and that's perfectly fine. But here we are, just trying to get through it and trying to see it. And the reason I say that is because if Neil would have said no like 2 hours ago, he's like, Chuck, I'm not feeling it. I'm not doing a podcast tonight. And if it's just at like a hard concrete no, then that's fine. You need a break. Not that it's weird. It's not a burnout either. Like, we've all had burnout. I've been burned out. Yeah, I think you guys saw it like a month or two ago when I did all the projects for Games Workshop, the events team. I was burned out. I didn't want to do a damn thing. I didn't want to look at Warhammer. And it's going to happen from time to time. You try to minimize that. But what do you do when you're lacking this passion? Like I said, sometimes the obstacle is the way, as Marcus Aurelius said. And sometimes if you are lacking the passion, it's going through it and rediscovering what the passion is for you, I feel. So what's my passion? Because like, I'm not passionate. Like, to be honest, I'm more excited about doing some retro Game Boy modding, a new hobby I'm picking up here. I'm not saying the channel's going to change or take over that. You might see things here or there. I'll talk about it in depth because I'm super excited about it. It's going to be a hobby I share with my wife too. But despite all that, like I said, I'm still hobbying. I'm still going to game nights. I'm still running club days from my local club here. And I'm not going at that process of doing it just to do it, per se. What's my little wins? It's going to sound weird here. I'm going to make a comparison quick to Street Fighter and, I guess, fighting games. Because as you guys know, if you follow my content, and I've mentioned it here before too, but I'm a big fan of fighting games. I'm really into Street Fighter 6 right now. It's actually where my competitive edge really kicks in. Or competitive spirit, my wanting to be better. Warhammer I enjoy, it's just for fun. More so than much else. Old Worlds, I'm a little competitive, but, not like I am like Street Fighter. Like, I want to get better. I will put in a lot of time to get better. So with that sort of comparison doesn't mean I'm going to win every match, but sometimes it's going into a match knowing that my goal of that match isn't to win. It's to learn this combo or learn this piece of this combo, or just, oh, my buttons are off tonight. Let me make sure I can get my basic moveset out. And sometimes that is enough. and it's shifting the focus and finding the purpose, and through that I think you discover your joy and your passion once again for it. So why am I doing this solo podcast talking about why I'm not passionate about Warhammer at the moment? Because by doing this, one, my goal for this is to have a nice solo chat solo for you guys to enjoy, and get better at that when I have to do that, or whenever I do any sort of solo content. But also, as I ramble here, I'm hoping to find like those little nuggets of what I love so much about Warhammer. What's going to spark that passion for me? It's painting is a can be a fun thing, a rewarding thing, but it's not always the most exciting thing. Same thing with playing the game. Sometimes you have great games, sometimes you have bad games. Where is the enjoyment of Warhammer? And as I'm sitting here, like, it just popped in my head, thinking back to those first night before my first, you would think I was going to like AOS Worlds, which, by the way, good Team America, good luck. I don't know if anyone's covering it this year. It's definitely a very lackluster year for all that going around, but hey, that's fine. Like I said, I think passion's down for a lot of people right now in a lot of ways. But thinking back to that night before I went to my first club day and played 3 games of Warhammer Fantasy 8th Edition with my High Elves. Super excited, couldn't sleep. Was up late painting models. So you would have thought I was going to the biggest event of my life, and I was going to probably one of the smallest. Like, I think that all the fun stuff I've gotten to do with Warhammer over the years, and yeah, a club day is probably one of the smallest, most simplest things. But that's where that passion began. That's where those little nuggets of joy came up, and I know lots of great folks that come to my local club, and that is where they go. They get that feeling almost every time. They've not set their sights beyond that. They don't care to, they don't want to, they don't need to, or they can't. And that's all perfectly fine. So seeing them get excited to come to a club day, is exciting for me. Because it reminds me of that, I guess that simpler time when things were easier now. And sometimes finding the passion is reliving the passion through others. And sometimes doing what you do, whether it's life, Warhammer, fitness, it's just doing it because you need to do it. Because even if you don't feel excited about it, like, I didn't feel excited to paint that Napoleonics army, but when I was painting it, still, it's helping the mental game. It's helping me relax, unwind, let me focus my energy into a single task, even if it's not a task I enjoy. Like, I forget who might have said this, but it probably is a stoicist. It might be Marcus Aurelius again. He's a very great thinker on that. But whatever task you're doing, give yourself fully to it. Like right now, I am doing a solo podcast for you guys, and I'm trying to give everything to it. I could be sitting here and be like, no, I'm gonna look at my phone, or trying to think of I could be sitting here complaining about all the AI art crap online about how the guy who did it's tone deaf. I don't care. That's not for me to care about. But be present in what you're doing, even if it's digging a hole. If you're digging a hole, dig the best damn hole you can. If you're painting Napoleonics, put the effort to paint that Napoleonics as best you can with what you got. Like just try and get through it. Paint the army, and just have fun. But also, like I said, don't always force it. It's okay to take time off. I mean, heck, we're closing in here on episode 100. That's the next episode for the Strength Hammer podcast. I never thought I'd have a podcast where we got to 100 episodes. And I don't care that I only have 580 subscribers on this channel. Don't care. I enjoy doing this. Will I do it forever? I mean, no. Technically, no one's going to do anything forever. But, how long will I go? Until I feel like I'm done. That's it. But still, it's thrilling. And I'm sure all of you are like, this is a weird 99th podcast. But that's just what life is sometimes. And like I said, even after we get to that 100th episode, we're probably going to take a week or two off. And actually, Neil and I have been talking too. We mentioned it briefly, and I think it is worth considerations. We switch this back to monthly type podcast. I know we have the monthly podcast with Big M's Power Hour, but do the Strength Hammer podcast monthly. Maybe be a little bit longer. I don't think it's going to be a 3.5, 4 hour juggernaut of a podcast like Matt and Cole do over on Big M's, but it might be a little bit longer type chat. And I mean, that frees me up too to let creativity flow and maybe do more solo stuff for you. Maybe I can do more reviews of articles. Maybe I can find that passion, if I'm only doing this podcast once a month per se, to do like those reviews of the articles as they come out for Games Workshop, or look at more news going on. We'll see. Who knows? that's the fun of it. And, this is, I'm curious for all of you below. Like, are you feeling it? Like, please let me know in the comments below, or DM me on Instagram, Twitter, wherever you're at, or just at me, wherever. Are you feeling excited for Warhammer right now? Where's everyone's thoughts and feelings at on this? Because for sure, I know Neil's not alone. I know I'm not alone. I'm not seeing lots of games going on. Generally, Torment still seems to be healthy and going on, but nothing like extreme. There's no major events right now. It's also getting close to summer, so people are enjoying that vacation time. So we'll see what comes of this whole thing. But yeah, let me know. I'm curious. Like I said, this is a weird podcast, I know, everybody, and I appreciate you hanging with me on this little journey here. But where's your passion at? Is the obstacle the way for you, like it is for me, to just go through it, find what I enjoy, just work through it, work it out. Don't quit, don't stop type thing, but don't burn out per se. Like I said, if you're close to burnout, stop, take a break. But yeah, for I mean, really, I'm not sure what else to say at this point, other than thank you everybody who has been here listening and following all the way up through 99 episodes. I do want to maybe have a fun celebratory episode for episode 100, so keep an eye out. Like I said, there may be a chance that we take a week off between 99 and 100. Not because of actually this reason we're talking about right now, but because I want to have a fun podcast. I want to make sure I get some schedules aligned to kind of have the whole Strength Hammer crew on, and we just chat and toast to it. And it might be more of a to be fair, episode 100 is probably going to be a lot of self-gratification type thing about like, yay, we did it, this is great. But for sure, everybody, I appreciate you all who are out there and watch my podcast and like and subscribe and comment and just support us along the way. And I like I said, because of that, I'm trying to do more by putting more posts on YouTube, since that's the thing you can do. I'm sure you guys, the high quality camera that I have for those, you probably just saw the fly buzz right in front of me. It's back here. It's driving me nuts. There's a fly in this house and I can't get rid of it. I guess it's because of the Nurgle article. I shouldn't have talked bad about it. But that's probably enough for me, everybody. Let me know. Are you passionate for Warhammer right now? Are you not passionate for Warhammer right now? Are you the type to just push through and do and rediscover your passion along the way? Are you the type to take a big step back and go, nope, can't do this. Can't do this right now. But anyway, out there, appreciate you guys. Please make sure, like I said, leave a comment below, message me. Are you passionate for Warhammer right now? I mean, not do you love it or not. Not do you hate what you've seen for 4th edition. I don't care. That's fine. But are you passionate about it? Are you just in the doldrum of just waiting? Because nothing's coming out. There's no new exciting models. We know where the story's headed. So who cares about the... Well, I care. I'm picking up the last of the Dawnbringer books, but it's an interesting time, and it's we've all been here, and it's going to have edition changes again, but we'll be on highs before we know it. Lore and all this fun stuff. We'll probably have old world dwarves, and it'll be more Warhammer than we could deal with at any given time. But for now, if you are out there and you are like myself and Neil, and your lack of passion, just know that you're not alone. Just know that that's fine. It's okay. You don't have to be hyped for everything all the time. And you can come on and you can have a podcast and you can just chat about how you're not passionate about what your podcast is about for a little bit. And discover your passion again through whatever means you find. As I say from Marcus Aurelius, the obstacles the way. So that's why I'm happy. I feel better doing this podcast and just getting these feelings out, as opposed to just not. But that doesn't mean everybody else is going to have that. Some people just want to just shut down and just ignore it. That's fine too. But once again, rambling. So everybody out there, I appreciate you. Look forward in either next week or the week after for a nice big celebratory episode 100. So we finally made it. And until next time, everybody, stay Stormcast strong and happy hobbying.